Hello everyone, greetings from Storycorner at Bookmine, and this is Sudha Umashanker, and today I thought I'd share with you the story about the legend of Kanyakumari. Now Kanyakumari is a very important temple town in the southernmost tip of India. Its location is very unique. It's at the confluence of three waters, the Bay of Bengal, the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean, and it's also one of the 52 Shakti peeths. Now to hark back a little and tell you about the Shakti peeths, when Sati, the wife of Shiva, went uninvited to a big yajna conducted by her father Daksha. She was insulted and not received properly, and therefore she immolated herself in the sacrificial fire. And Shiva, on learning of this, came there and flew into a rage. He carried Shakti on his person, and his anger could not be quelled by anybody at all until Lord Vishnu swung his chakra, and the body of Sati was split into 52 parts, and it fell at different places which came to be known as the Shakti peeths. Now the place where Sati's spine fell is Kanyakumari, and that is why the Kundalini Shakti has a presence in Kanyakumari. So much about Kanyakumari being the Shakti peeths. There are many legends surrounding Kanyakumari. The Virgin Goddess, who stood there in penance, meditating on her husband to be Lord Shiva. But there are other interesting sides, one of which is that Narendranath Datta, who later became Swami Vivekananda, swam across the seas to reach the very rock on which Kanyakumari meditated, thinking of Lord Shiva, and that is where he attained enlightenment. Now the rock on which Kanyakumari, the goddess, stood there and meditated bears her footprints, and this is enshrined in a temple. And today we also have the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi meditating at that very rock for about 2 days as the election year winds to a close, and this has sparked off renewed interest in Kanyakumari, its legends and the importance of this temple. Now Kanyakumari, as I told you, stands for Kanya and Kumari, a virgin goddess who is yet unmarried, hence the name Kumari. Now once upon a time there was a demon called Banasura, and he overpowered the devas, and he unleashed a wave of terror on earth, and adharma prevailed everywhere. Now all the devas and the gods got alarmed, and they were deeply perturbed, and soon Mother Earth, Bhumi Devi, approached Lord Vishnu and said that he has to find a solution to stop this wave of terror. Now Lord Vishnu advised her that the only way to find a solution to this was to supplicate and surrender themselves to Adi Parashakti, as only she was capable of vanquishing Banasura. Hence, a huge yajna was organized, and all the devas and the gods prayed to Adi Parashakti, and soon she emerged from the fire in the form of a little girl. And she told all of them to be patient and assured them that when the time is right, she would come and vanquish Banasura. Having said that, she travelled to Kanyakumari, where she meditated deeply on Lord Shiva. Now, Shiva, who had an abode not far away from the town of Kanyakumari in Suchindram, he saw Kanyakumari and he fell in love with her and wanted to marry her. And she gladly accepted his request, and soon preparations were made for the wedding, and the day was an auspicious day was fixed. When sage Narada heard about this, he got very, very anxious, because he knew that only a virgin goddess, an unmarried girl like Kanyakumari, could kill Banasura, and if she married and became a married woman, then the boon would not hold, because Banasura had received a boon saying that he could be killed only by an unmarried girl. So he, troublemaker he was, but in this instance he wanted to save the earth, so he somehow wanted to stop the marriage. So he went to Kanyakumari and cautioned her, and told her that she must first make sure that the Shiva who proposed to her is actually Shiva and not Banasura. So she had to first establish the identity of Lord Shiva, and therefore he suggested that she put him through a test, and the test was to ask him to bring a coconut without any eyes, a stalk of sugar cane without any stump joints, and a betel leaf without any veins. Now Shiva accomplished this with great ease. This made Narada even more anxious. He knew that he had to come up with some other plan to stop the wedding. Now, the wedding, as I told you, was fixed on an auspicious day at midnight. So when when it was almost time for the wedding, Shiva began to travel from Suchindram to Kanyakumari's abode. So Narada decided to play a trick. He knew that the wedding was supposed to take place at midnight, so he took the form of a rooster and he began to crow. When Shiva heard this, he thought that the day had broken and that he was very late for the wedding, and he couldn't think of anything else to do but to return to Suchindram. Now Kanyakumari, who was dressed in all her finery, in her red sari with bangles and holding a mala in hand, waited and waited and waited for Shiva's arrival. It was past midnight, the day had broken, it was high noon, and soon all the guests returned, thinking that the wedding was not going to take place, and Kanyakumari was deeply distraught, and she stood there. After a while, she just moved to a rock which was almost the size of an island, and she stood there meditating deeply on Shiva. Of course, Shiva never turned up, and Kanyakumari initially was so angry that she threw everything, all the food that was prepared for the wedding and everything else that you could find. A legend is that is why the sands are so colored, and she went into a deep meditation, looking out ahead of her, awaiting the arrival of Lord Shiva. Now Banasura heard about the beautiful Kanyakumari, so he wanted to marry her. So he came by and he asked for her hand in marriage, and Kanyakumari turned him down flatly. Now he decided that the next thing that he should do was to try and win her over by force, and so he whipped out a sword. It was not as if Kanyakumari was not unarmed, so she flung her chakra at him, and she was able to eliminate him in no time. That was when Banasura realized who Kanyakumari was. It dawned on him that this was indeed Adi Parashakti. He deeply repented for his sins. He asked her for her forgiveness, and he also asked that anybody who comes and bathes in the waters of Kanyakumari should be absolved of all their sins. And this is why many people come to Kanyakumari and take a dip in the waters just outside the town. It is believed that the idol in the Kanyakumari temple, that of the Virgin Goddess, was installed and consecrated by Parashurama, one of the Dashavatars of Lord Vishnu. And here she is depicted in a standing posture with a Rudraksha mala in her hand, and on her pedestal is a lion, which shows that she is a form of Durga. In fact, Kanyakumari, or Bhagavati Kumari as she is known, is a manifestation of Katyayani, one of the Navadurgas, and the Gayatri mantra only goes to prove it. Which the Gayatri mantra goes thus: Om Katyayanaya Vitmahe Kanya Kumari Chatimahe Tanno Durga Prachodayat. Another very interesting feature of the idol is a sparkling diamond nose ring of goddess Kanyakumari. It is said that this came from a king cobra, and there is yet another legend that when once a mariner was sailing along, he mistook the glow from the nose ring to be a lighthouse, and he crashed on the rocks. And this is why the eastern doors of this temple are not open on all days of the year, and except for 5 chosen days. It is also believed that this area is where, when Lord Hanuman carried the Sanjeevani mountain with the life-giving herb from the Himalayas to Sri Lanka, he dropped a piece of the earth around this area, and that is why this is known as a medicine giving hill. So if Varanasi is the abode of Lord Shiva, Kanyakumari is the abode of Shakti, and people continue to visit Kanyakumari for various reasons, for absolving from being absolved of their sins. People who want who plan to take sannyasa take their diksha here, and there is the beautiful Vivekananda Rock Memorial and the Vivekananda Kendra, which operates from here and manages the place. So much about the legend of Kanyakumari and the Vivekananda Rock Memorial, which is the very rock on which Goddess Kanyakumari meditated. I hope you like this story as much as I did putting it together for you, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Until we meet again, it's bye from me.